Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanyachari Yamuna Tira Vanyachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanyachari Yamuna Tira Vanyachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanyachari Yamuna Tira Vanyachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Jaya Radha Murli Radha Radhe. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya. Hare Pawan Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna, I welcome all of you all for our weekly discussion on Rethink Your Life series. Today, we have a very interesting topic to go through, to discuss. Before that, let me just read the translation of this wonderful bhajan written by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, a great Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharya. So, Krishna is the lover of Radha. He displays many amorous pastimes in the grooves of Vrindavan. He is the lover of the cowherd maidens of Braj and the holder of great hill named Govardhan. He is the beloved son of Mother Yashoda, the delighter of the inhabitants of Braj, and he wanders in the forest along with the banks of river Yamuna. So many wonderful places, many many wonderful places, many good or pure devotee of Lord are mentioned in this bhajan, in these two verses. Here Radharani is mentioned, then Vrindavan Dham is mentioned. Govardhan is also considered as Haridas warrior, meaning the best of the devotees of the Lord. And there's a discussion of cowherd maidens, and then there's discussion of there's a mention of Mother Yashoda, and then there is a mention of Yamuna river. Many auspicious things that it's a small bhajan, but filled with all the auspiciousness and good things. Yeah. So today's topic to discussion is a very interesting topic. What is karma? Why do bad things happen to good people? This is our 14th session, and we are going sequentially here. Last week we saw the verse 4.7 and 8. Today we are also, this topic is based on again two more great verses from Bhagavad Gita, again from chapter 4. And this is how the structure of our sessions is going to be. We will pick up, we'll go sequentially we started from chapter 4, we did the first 9 verses. Then today we are jumping to verse 16 and 17. These are again one of the most important verses. And that's how we'll progress. We'll keep on discussing on the important verses coming from chapter 4, then we'll jump to chapter 5 and like that. So, as always, before beginning, let's offer our prayers. Anyone wants to recite the prayers? Any volunteers?
I can do, Chintan. So, Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnanananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Tapidam Yena Bhutale स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुधापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सह गुणरघुनन्दनान्वितं तां शाजीवं तद्वैतं सवादूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णापदं सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखण्डितं च नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमदे भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशातरिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेमप्रदाय ते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरात्रिषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पादे गोपेशा गोपिका कंत राधा कंता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषाभानुसुदे देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पवनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरा भक्ता वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
Thank you, Padmapriya. So, as always, we discuss the topic: what is karma? Why do bad things happen with good people? And these are the two things we'll try to get out of the session today. Have a clear understanding of what is karma and what is the correct way to do karma in this world. Like last session, we had the verse Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirбhavati bharat abhyuttanam dharmasya tadatmanam sujami aham, and then paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So we ended up our session at does God care and why should I care? So God does care. Because why? Because he comes again and again whenever there is a decline in religious practice, and to deliver, to uplift the religion, he comes, and to annihilate the miscreants, and to give his association uh, to the sadhus, paritranaya sadhuna, he comes. So God cares. So if he cares, then there was a dilemma we spoke about. If he cares, then why are there so much bad thing happening around? Why there is earthquake? Why there is this pandemic? Why there is this tsunami? Why there is forest fire? Why there are animals, billions of animals killed daily? Why there are women's raped? Why there are child that are being aborted? All these bad things, why are they happening if God really cares? Then the dilemma of that was answered by Bhagavad Gita by giving the analogy of this material world is a hospital. We discussed about the hospital. And in the hospital is not designed to give you suffering, but it is designed, but because you have some problems, suffering comes with, you have problems, you go to a hospital, and because of that, they operate on you. That in turn invokes suffering. So as such, the purpose of hospital is not to give you suffering. It is to free you out. If it is to give you a pavement, a way out of this world. It is a way to cure your disease. What is the disease we discussed? So the disease we discussed was forgetfulness of God, our rebellious nature against God, our envy toward God. This is the disease. And that is why we are in this hospital. So that is why bad thing happens. Uh, there is a justification that hospital is not designed to give you suffering. But there is this word karma comes again and again. And people may say, okay, there might be karma. Because of the karma, good karma, I get good results, bad karma gets bad results. Every one of us has heard this word karma. It's very common word in today's world. So, I want to ask you a question. And before the question, I have this joke here for you from Dilbert. So, I'm not sure if you know, but this is a character. It sometimes appears in the newspapers and the online media. So, in that, there is a joke that I've put here. So, he says, I believe in karma. That means I can do bad things to people all day long and I assume they deserve it. So this is the understanding of karma. So he says, I believe in karma. That means I can do bad things to people all day long and I assume that they deserve it. So he says, I am doing bad things because they deserve bad things. That is their bad karma because of which I am doing bad things to them. It's a funny way to put karma, but actually it's not that. I have just put it for the sake of humor to start this session on a positive note. But I have a question for everyone here. Do you believe in law of karma exist or it's something created by religious people? So do you think what is your opinion of karma? Is it something, does that exist or it doesn't exist? Or is it just created to create fear again in the mindset of people? What is it about? How do you understand the word karma?
So is this a question to ask Chintan? Can I answer?
Yes, it's to you, all of you.
Okay. So in my view, karma is the outcome of action or thought process or the wishes that we have, which means by thinking, by speaking, we create the karma actually.
Yeah,
So
but
it is the outcome of the
so you
actions.
believe in karma.
Sorry?
You believe in karma?
Yes, I believe in karma, yes.
Okay, okay. Yeah, good.
Yes, I believe in karma, and it is like purely created based on the thought process, based on the speech, and based on the wishes or desires that we have in life. It is like the outcome of the actions that we do. That is my view.
So actions that we do that creates karma, that is the logical reasoning. Is there any scientific reasoning that you can provide? That, okay, through science also I can say that there is karma. You or Padma Priya?
Um, I'm thinking, I don't know, like nothing strikes in my mind.
Okay. Anyone else wants to give it a try, or do they believe in karma, or is it something created just by the religious people to invoke fear in people? And is there a logical, what is the logical basis for, if you understand karma, what is the logical basis you will give for karma, and what is the scientific basis you will give for karma?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu, this is Jatin. I want to add. I was discussing with some other group of devotees, and someone like read the book about there's a very complex calculation where like karma do effect, and I do believe in karma because it's not like simple a plus b is equal to c, and you will see like if I did two things and one wrong, it will tag it. So there is like very complex combination calculation which calculate your thousands of previous incarnation or of those karmas and all that. So I do believe like there is a karma, laws of karma. That's why like if you do good, that will add to your journey, and you will start doing good. It's kind of practicing something. And if try to be a bad cop always, then it will fuel that tendency inside you to continue be to continue to be a bad guy, like we see in movie the same thing.
Mhm.
So it's like fueling a good side of yours and bad side of yours. So which one you want to grow, that will help you grow further in the same mode or law of under the law of karma. So I do believe there is something which is evaluating us. That is something we call karma in our language.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Jatin Prabhu.
Haripu.
Yeah. So karma, let's say there is a logical basis I'll give. Anything we are seeing, experiencing around us is following some law, and not following the law, uh, you get some reaction, or there is a cause and there is a reaction to that. There is the action and there is reaction. Like if next week I come up with some mark on my face, you will ask me what happened. So your inquiry of what happened means there was a cause, there was an action, and that is why there is a reaction. This mark will not appear on its own. And so there is an action, there is a reaction. Another way to understand is, let's say we are having this Zoom call, and I'm looking at this camera, my laptop camera. If I go deep into this, that camera is made up of plastic. It would ultimately have, if we break it down to matter, it is just electron, proton, and neutron. It has that in it. Even the electron, what to speak of that, we can speak of this kartal. They have they have this is made up of some metals. If the electrons here do not follow the basic principle of revolving around neutrons, or uh, with a certain speed, they will not be in the orbit. This if electrons here do not follow their own duty of the law they are supposed to follow, to revolve around the neutron in certain speed at a certain distance, this, if they do not follow that, this kartal is going to blast off. It will not be together. So on the microscopic level, we see there is certain law that has been followed. And on the macroscopic level, which is here, the picture I am showing is there is Earth and there are other planets revolving around Sun at a certain speed, at a certain distance. And they also follow the law. There are multiple laws that are being followed. So on a logical way, we can understand that, okay, there is law of gravity, there is a law of the government. If I go out and if I hit someone, or if I steal something, the police is going to ultimately catch me and put me behind the bars. So because there is a law, even in this building I am living, there is a particular law I have to follow. So everything that we come across follows a specific law under which we have to work. And outside of that we work, we get reactions for that. So on the logical basis, we understood it by action and reaction. If there's some mark on my face, and if I come next week, you'll ask me what is that? So that is the logical. On the scientific basis also we can understand. Of course, the example of electron proton I gave you are also scientific. Other examples are the law that Newton has given, the third law of every action has equal and opposite reaction. Like if I throw a ball with full speed towards wall, it is going to come back to me with the same full speed. If I throw it very slowly, it will come to me very slowly. Or let's say if I have some flowers, I throw up in the air, the flowers are going to fall ultimately on my head after a few seconds. Or if I have some mud in my hand, and if I throw that mud in the air, the same mud is going to come on my top of my head after some time. So there is the government law, there is gravity law. So when it comes to human being, how can there not be laws? There are laws, and these laws, following this law is karma. And the reaction of not following this laws is also karma. So this is the sentence. To sum it up, this is what we are not just living in this universe, but in a universal government we are living. Everything from the small matter we are seeing, like with the example of this kartal we saw, some small matter to us human beings, everything is governed by is been governed by the universal law, universal government. So word karma, so we are just diving deeper into the word karma. And once we have a bit understanding of word karma, you all gave your opinion on karma, what that is. Then we'll go to jump to Bhagavad Gita and understand what Krishna is saying about karma. Okay. So the word karma, whenever we speak, it can be karma word, it can mean different in different ways, like based on the context in which it is used. So like karma, the first is action, meaning karm karo. In every, you have heard it in from many people, they say work is worship. Work is worship. Do your karma, do your duty. That is one meaning of karma. Doing your karma, doing your job, or that falls into the karma category. Then there is reaction, because if I am suffering something, if I am going through a bad phase or something like that, which is called destiny, some people can say that, oh, it is in my karma, it is in your karma. Even I can say to myself, like, yeah, it was in my karma to face this. It was in my karma to go through this job loss or go through this disease. It was in my karma. So that is the second context in which we use karma word. The third context in which we use karma word is the system of action and reaction. There is an action and there is a reaction to that. Like, again, the example of me having some mark here. Next week, maybe I got burnt with something. So there was an action and there is reaction. That is also defined as karma. So These are broadly the three way or three contexts in which word karma is used. And the three types of karma. So we saw the three contexts and three types of karma. So before going here, let's now jump into Bhagavad Gita. So we are into the chapter 4. You are able to see my screen, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So we are into the chapter 4, verse 16. Lord Krishna says, Kim karma kim akarmeti kavayopya atra mohitaha tatte karma pravakshami yadyatva mokshayeshubhat. Its translation means, even the intelligent are bewildered in determining what is action, what is inaction. Now I shall explain to you what action is, knowing which you shall be liberated from all misfortune. So now you'll understand karma from the manufacturer, from the source of the universe. He is going to explain us what karma is. He is saying even the intelligent people are bewildered in determining what is action, what is inaction. Now I shall explain you that what action is. So this is the purport given by Srila Prabhupada. Anyone wants to read it?
I I need to zoom it.
Zoom
Uh,
it.
yeah, yeah. This much is good enough. So action. Should I start?
Yeah, please.
Action in Krishna consciousness has to be executed in accord with the example of previous bona fide devotee. This is the recommend in the 15th verse. Why such action should not be independent will be explained in the text to follow. To act in Krishna consciousness, one has to follow the leadership of authorized persons who are in a line of distinct succession as explained in the beginning of this chapter. The system of Krishna consciousness was first narrated to the sun god. The sun god explained it to his son Manu. Manu explained it to his son Ishwaku. And the system is current on this earth from that very remote time. Therefore, one has to follow in the footsteps of previous authorities in the line of distinct succession. Otherwise, even the most intelligent man will be bewildered regarding the standard actions of Krishna consciousness. For this reason, the Lord decided to instruct Arjun in Krishna consciousness directly. Because of the direct instruction of Lord to Arjuna, anyone who follows in the footstep of Arjuna is certainly not bewildered. It is said that one cannot ascertain the ways of religion simply by imperfect experimental knowledge. Actually, the principle of religion can only be laid down by the Lord Himself. Dharman tu sakshat bhagavatam pranitam. No one can manufacture a religious principle by imperfect speculation. One must follow in the footsteps of great authorities like Brahma, Shiva, Narada, Manu, the Kumaras, Kapila, Prahlad, Bhishma, Shukadev Goswami, Yamraj, Janaka, and Bali Maharaj. By mental speculation, one cannot ascertain what is religion or self-realization. Therefore, out of causeless mercy to his devotees, the Lord explained directly to Arjuna what action is and what inaction is. Only action performed in Krishna consciousness can deliver a person from the entanglement of material existence.
Thank you, Prabhu. So the last line, the entire purport is amazing, but the last line, if you read it carefully, only action performed in Krishna consciousness can deliver a person from the entanglement of material existence. See, if someone tells you, if I'm stuck in a particular prison house for millions of years, and then someone comes and says, oh, this is the way to get out of this prison house. He gives some simple steps. This line is like that. we are all stuck into this material, the entanglement of material existence since million and billion of lifetimes. Of course, we all don't remember that, but we have been going through this different bodies, from one body to another body, to a cat's body, to a dog's body, to some heavenly planet sometime, then to some hellish planet, then to some human form of life. Then we get again a chance, then we mess it up by doing some bad karmas. That is why Prabhupada is saying it is very important to know this karma, what is karma, and that too in the disciplic succession. Like we saw in the beginning of this chapter, Krishna is saying, Evam parampara praptam imam rajarsayas vidhu. So this knowledge is coming since the disciplic succession, in the disciplic succession. But over the course of time, the chain was broken. So Lord is very kind enough to give this knowledge again. And in the next verse, he will give us more detail on what is karma. So he says in 17th verse, he says, Karmanyo hyapi bodhavyam cha vikarmanaha akarmanas cha bodhavyam gahana karmano gati. I'll read the translation. The intricacies of action are very hard to understand. Therefore, one should know properly what action is, what forbidden action is, and what inaction is. So there are three actions they are talking about: action, forbidden action, and inaction. We are going to see all three of them in detail in some time. Before that, let's read the purport. I'll read the purport. If one is serious about liberation from material bondage, one has to understand the distinction between action, inaction, and unauthorized action. One has to apply oneself to such an analysis of action, reaction, and perverted action, because it is a very difficult subject matter. To understand Krishna consciousness and action according to its mode, one has to learn one's relationship with the Supreme. That is, who has learned perfectly knows that every living entity is an eternal servitor of the Lord, and that consequently one has to act in Krishna consciousness. The entire Bhagavad Gita is directed towards this conclusion. Any other conclusions against this consciousness and its attendant actions are vikarmas, or prohibited actions. To understand all this, one has to associate with authorities in Krishna consciousness and learn the secret from them. This is as good as learning from the Lord directly. Otherwise, even the most intelligent person will be bewildered. So Prabhupada is saying the same thing that Krishna said, that even the intelligent people cannot understand what karma is. It needs to be understood by the representative of God. And what are the words of God? Krishna has given this, but even to understand it properly, we need to hear it from the pure devotees of the Lord. So we will go into the presentation again now. So action, inaction, and prohibited action. So vikarma means prohibited actions. Like this, these are called the breaking the laws of the God. This slide may seem familiar to you. We have come across this slide in one of our previous discussions, but there we had just glanced through this slide. Today we'll go into the deeper details of what is karma, vikarma, and akarma. And karma is good work on material platform that brings good reaction, and akarma means devotional activity for which one suffers no reaction. So can someone give example of vikarma? What is vikarma? Just to make sure we understood it properly.
So we are not abiding to the rules that has been given by God to us.
Correct. So not abiding to the rules that is given by God, like let's say the rule on the highway was to drive at the speed of 65 miles per hour, and I'm driving at 100 miles per hour. Police is going to catch me anytime, and give me a ticket. Well, some people may say that, yes, I drove 100 miles, but I didn't get the ticket. That is because the laws that are prepared on this material world, they are not, so the government or the system is not that sophisticated to deal with precision with everyone. But the karma, the laws made by God, they work precisely on everyone. They work without any distinction. Let's say someone says, I do not believe in karma. And someone says, it's like saying that I do not believe in gravity. So for them, they're not believing in gravity and saying that they jump from the 10th floor of their building. That I do not believe in gravity, I'll jump. And they jump there. Gravity is not going to say that, oh, okay, he doesn't know about me, how I am supposed to act on that person. No, gravity is still going to act. Whether it's a 1 month old kid or a 60-year-old person, gravity will act. Whether it is a male or a female, gravity will not distinguish. That is the law of gravity. It doesn't, it works to precision. It does, there's no distinction. There's no, sometimes we see in this world, even though some laws are broken by some influential people, they still can get away with their influence on the government or the political person. So they can get away with that. But the universal government laws are not like that. Even the slightest of misdeed can give you, will give you the reactions. So regardless of child, gender and position, it is going to act. So breaking the law, breaking the universal law. And what are the universal, like I gave you an example of, like in my building, I am supposed to collect the wet waste and throw it into a certain area, and then I have to collect the dry waste and I have to throw it in certain. Even if I do not do that, the building is going to put a fine on me. Breaking the laws of God, we will discuss this with examples. For now, I just wanted to give the definition. Then karma. So any karma I do, any good work on material platform, that brings good reaction. Any karma, like again, going to the building examples where I am supposed to put the dry waste in a dry area and a wet waste in a certain box. If I'm doing that, that is my karma. That is, I'm following the rules set out by the building authorities. That is the karma. I'm supposed to do my work. I'm doing a job. That is my karma. I'm doing that. I'm feeding hungry people and all that good karmas or all that following the laws. Anytime you follow the law, it falls under the category of karma. So anytime you do not follow the law, that is vikarma, then there is karma. But there is a third factor, which is akarma, devotional activity for which one suffers no reaction, no non-action. So akarma means, so this is inaction. So we saw in the translation there is action, inaction and prohibited action. So vikarma is prohibited action, karma is action, and akarma is inaction. So the work that doesn't cause any binding, that doesn't create any reaction, good or bad. Vikarmas create bad reactions, karma create good reaction, but akarma create no reaction. Now one may say, oh, what is the problem with good reaction? What is the problem with karma? I am doing my karma and I'll get good reactions. What is the problem with that? And we say, yes, there is a problem with karma also, doing good deeds also. It's not that bad, but it's not sufficient. It's not sufficient to get out of this material entanglement. Okay. So why do bad things happen to good people? Anyone has any answer on this? Why do bad things happen to good people?
It is because of the karma that is associated with the soul. It is not about whether we are good in this birth or whether we are good or bad in this birth. It is all about the good and bad things that the soul has actually saved in their previous lives, and that karma has to be exhausted in the current life. So that is why, like, it doesn't matter whether like they are good or bad now, but it is all about the association of karma with that soul, actually.
Yeah. So thank you, Padmapriya. So Bhagavad Gita tells us the understanding we get from Bhagavad Gita. Of course, Krishna doesn't give elaborate detail on why bad things happen to good people. Not like that. He's not crystal clearly saying that. But based on action, inaction, and prohibited action, this is what the conclusion is. Bad things never happen to good people. Not possible. This is not possible. Like Padmapriya was saying, if you have done something bad things in past, then in this life you are behaving a sober person, you are very sober, but you have accumulated a bad reaction from your previous life. It can give you fruits anywhere. Like uh, it's not necessary that I do something bad now and I'll get the results right away. I may get after 10 lifetimes also. I may get after 50 minutes also. It's not Gahana karmano gati. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, like, see here, he says, Gahana karmano gatihi. Gahana means very difficult. Karmano of work, gatihi entrance. So to understand the intricacies of actions are very hard to understand. Gahana karmano. Why I got after 50, like Dhritarashtra, there is a story in Mahabharata. Dhritarashtra at the end of the war of Mahabharata asked Krishna, why this happened to me? All my 100 sons had to be killed in front of me. So then Krishna tells him that 50 lives ago, you were a hunter, you not a hunter, you went for hunting and you tried to kill a bird with your arrows. That bird flew away and that caused you anger in you, because of which you killed all the eggs and all the small uh, birds that were there in the nest that belonged to that bird. You killed all uh, the the small birds, the eggs, and that bird had to see all this. In front of that bird's eye, you made this grave crime. That is why you have to go through all this. Then Dhritarashtra says, okay, I understand now, but why do I have to wait for 50 lives? So Krishna says, that is because even to get 100 sons, a lot of pious karmas are needed, pious credits are needed. To accumulate that, it took you 50 lives. That is one example of how karma works. This life, this Dhritarashtra, although he was doing some things that were not supposed from him, that was not expected. But if good people, because we know only this much finite, we have a finite vision in this 50, 60 life of a person we know. But there is an infinite, the jivas are eternal and we do not know what did they do in their past life. Like the other day, not other day, couple of years ago, I saw in the newspaper a picture where a person was clicked seconds before he was being shot dead. a gun was there on the head, and this person was in next 3 or 4 seconds he was dead. And I felt so bad for that person, that this person was killed and someone was taking a picture of it. Why did they do like this? Then I read the full article. It so happened that that person who was killed on the point blank, he some time ago, couple of hours ago, killed the entire family of that person who actually was holding the gun. Now I see, okay, now it still doesn't make sense, but now I was not feeling that bad about that person because of uh, their personal enmity. That person killed all his family members. Only that person of that family was remaining. He was killing that person, and someone clicked the photo just before that. So we know only this much, but if we know the entire picture, bad things can never happen to good people. That is not possible. That is what Bhagavad Gita is saying. Something you must have done in past that is fructifying now. So now we go deeper into these three words: akarma, vikarma, karma, and akarma. So first is vikarma. According to Shastra, what falls under vikarma? What is vikarma? So for this, let's go to Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is from Canto 1, chapter 17 and verse 38. The Sutta Goswami is saying, Abhyarathi Abhyarithitastada tasmin sthanani kalaye dadau dyutam panam striya shuna yatra dharmascha turvidaha. This is the point here. Dyutam meaning gambling, panam meaning intoxication, striyaha having some illicit affair with a woman or a person of opposite sex, shuna meaning animal slaughter, gambling, dyutam gambling, panam drinking, striya illicit association with women, and shuna with animal slaughter. So there are many things that fall under vikarma. Many things fall under vikarma, but these are the top four things that fall under vikarma. Like if you do this, you are going to get very heavy reactions, which you'll have to suffer either in this life or in the next life, but you'll have to suffer. I am not saying this, Bhagavatam is saying this. Gambling. Now one may say, what is wrong in gambling? I am playing cards, I am playing poker, I am playing whatever the games may be that's played in under gambling. Gambling also means that people do day trading, put some money, they put day trading, like put $1,000 today and tomorrow it will become $10,000. So such kind of trading also falls under gambling. What is wrong with gambling is you lose peace of mind. You see people who gamble. First of all, you lose peace of mind, and truthfulness also you lose. You have, while doing gambling, you have to lie sometimes. Like there is a game I used to play earlier, is there are cards, and then even if you are putting 4 sevens, you have to say I am putting 4 threes. Like that, we'll have to say lie. We have to lie basically. So gambling has two cons. You have to lose truthfulness, and you lose the peace of mind. I have seen people who are stock traders, practically in Wall Street. Everyone suffers through, they cannot go to sleep without having some alcohol because there is no peace of mind. With alcohol, they just shut down the hardware here and then they go down. Daily they have to drink. So that is the downfall of gambling. Intoxication. What is wrong with intoxication? Well, with intoxication, we lose the right mental state, lose the mind or the my chitta or this human form of life which is given to me to perform austerities, to perform tapa. Why? To for my God realization. I am using it in the wrong way. Losing my focus, purposefully losing my focus, making myself putting in a forgetful state. People after drinking alcohol, they do not remember what happened last night, or doing drugs, they do not remember how did I came here and all that. That is the life that is being given, the human form of life that is being given to us for God realization. We use it in a wrong way. That is wrong with intoxication. And who is saying that human life is given to us for austerity and penance? Okay, let's go to Bhagavatam again. So Rishabh Dev, this is from Canto 5, Chapter 5, Text 1. This is one of my favorite chapters. I have actually mentioned this multiple times, where Lord Rishabdev gives amazing, amazing instructions to his 100th son. If you get time, you read this chapter. It's very amazing chapter. It's actually mind-blowing. So he says, Nayam deho deha bhajam nraloke kashtan kaman arhate vidyabhujam ye tapo divyam putraka yena sattvam shuddhyeta yasmad brahma shokyam tav anantam. Translation. Anyone wants to read translation? Anyone? No? Okay, I'll read. So, Lord Rishabdev told his sons, my dear boys, of all the living entities who have accepted material bodies in this world, one has been awarded this human form, should not work hard day and night simply for sense gratification, which is available even for dogs and hogs that eat stool. One should engage in penance and austerity to attain the divine position of devotional service. By such activity, one's heart is purified, and when one attains this position, he attains eternal blissful life, which is transcendental to material happiness and which never continues. And which is transcendental to material happiness and which continues forever. Sorry. So, one should not work hard simply for sense gratification. That is very important. Not work hard for sense gratification. Why? Because that is even available to dogs and hogs also. Sense gratification, they also eat, they also mate, they also sleep. Then what are we supposed to do? One should engage in penance. So while discussing why not intoxication, we are saying that it is not what we are supposed to do. We are not supposed to intoxicate ourselves and lose our mental stability and be forgetful about what happened. But it is for tapo divyam putraka yena sattvam. Tapo divyam putraka yena sattvam. It is for penance and austerity to attain the divine position of devotional service. By such activities, one heart is purified. So when we are trying to establish our connection with God, how can we establish a connection with God if we are not purified? And one may say, okay, I am unpurified, I am not purified. How do I purify? Purify yourself by engaging in penance and austerity. What happens after that? One's heart gets purified. And when your heart gets purified, you attain this position which is eternal blissful life, and which is transcendental to material happiness. It is above material happiness. You will forget what material happiness is. Watching movies, going to restaurants and all that, that is what material happiness means. Going for a vacation somewhere, that is what broadly, if you ask someone what is happiness, they'll say that I want a good vacation, I want to do some adventure sports, I like to go to restaurants, I want to explore. That is all material, but that is nothing compared to the transcendental bliss we get after we purify our heart and establish our connection with Krishna. So that is intoxication. Illicit association with opposite sex. What is wrong with that? Well, that is again purity. Your purity comes down, and cleanliness. Even if you have illicit association with other sex, there are sexually transmitted diseases people get. So that is also forbidden. That if you do all this, it is all vikarmas. You're creating bad reactions for yourself. And meat eating. So out of all the four, meat eating is the topmost. That will create the most gravest of the grave sinful reactions. You are taking away the life of a person, life of a living being. You did not create the life. Did we create the life in a mosquito or in a chicken or in a fish or in a goat? We are not. God gave them life, and it is all nature's arrangement. You are poking your head in the arrangement of nature by killing the animal. That creates the gravest of the grave sinful reaction. So these all fall under vikarma. We saw it through the Shastric evidence also. Now, what falls under karma? Again, this will see through the Shastra. What are the four social orders? Varnashram. So, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, text 13, चातुर्वर्ण्यं मया सृष्टं गुणकर्म विभागशः तस्या कर्तारमपि मां विद्य अकर्तरम् अव्ययम्. According to the three modes of material nature and the work associated with them, the four divisions of human society are created by me. And although I am the creator of this system, you should know that I am yet the non-doer, being unchangeable. So this is the verse which comes, this is a 4:15. So we jumped from 4:8 to 4:16 directly. This is a very important verse that comes in between. So, and it actually comes under our topic also. So we are covering that also. So four Chaturvarnyam Maya system, four divisions of social order. Varnashram Dharma it's called. Varna and Ashram. Varna means social order and Ashram means the order of life. So what are the four social orders? Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. Brahman are considered to be the top, the head of the society. Kshatriya, they are supposed to protect the citizens, administrators. Vaishyas are the business class, mercantile class, and Shudras are the labor class. So Brahman are considered the head, Kshatriya are considered the hand, Vaishya is considered is the belly, and Shudra are considered the leg. Obviously, all four of them are important, but Brahmana, which is the head, is supposed to lead the way. Then behind that, Kshatriya are supposed to follow. Then Vaishyas, then Shudras, like that. So work done according to God is creating. I created these 4 divisions of society, and according to their modes of nature, they can work in any of them. And there are 4 ashramas also. Krishna said, I created brahmachari ashram, I created grahastha ashram, vanaprastha ashram, and sannyas ashram. Brahmachari ashram meaning uh, the beginning phase of life, where one is supposed to dedicate their life for the God realization completely, and not associate or mingle that much with the opposite sex, and focus their initial phase of life for God realization. And if they want to continue that, they can continue that. Grihastha ashram is okay, you have some material uh, propensities to enjoy the opposite partner, or want to go into the family life, then you enter into the Grahastha ashram. Then Vanaprastha ashram is the ashram in which you enter after the age of 50. Like you, earlier people used to leave that and go to one. One means forest. That is why in Hindi, if we count 51, 52, 51, 52, like that. One means forest. After 50, you are supposed to give up your Grihastha ashram and focus more towards God realization. Now we are not, now nobody does that. Now that is not also recommended to do that. Even if you just follow um, worship of God and your devotional practice at home, that is also sufficient. And sannyas ashram is also the sannyasis. They leave everything they have and just travel everywhere and preach about God to people. So these 4 social orders and ashramas are created by Krishna. He says in 4:13. And when you act in one of these 4 social orders as per your nature, that is karma. That is karma. That is a karma which will cause you good reaction. Okay. Now, what is akarma? So, according to Shastra again, Bhagavad Gita 9.27, what is akarma? So, yat karoshi dasnasi, yat juhosi dadasi, yat tapasyasi kaunteya, tat kurusva madarpanam. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. Read the translation again. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. So, what is akarma? What comes under akarma? So, activity that doesn't bring out any reactions, that is akarma. And such actions will not bind you with this in the material entanglement, material world. And what else? Doing everything lovingly for the pleasure of God, that also falls under akarma. Now, one may say, what is the use of akarma? And how do I practice akarma on day-to-day basis? So we will discuss that. Akarma is going to be very important tool that we have to use, that is going to use it as a what you call it, as axe to break this material prison. Akarma is going to be that useful tool for us. So how to be free from the cycle of karma, and how akarma comes in this picture, I'll show here. So this, a version of this slide is also I've shown you earlier. Krishna, from him comes Krishna. This is Krishna. From him comes the spiritual world. He is eternally existing in spiritual world, and there is also material world he creates for living being to enjoy separately from him. Now, you do karma, then this is the cycle you follow. You go to heaven. This is heaven. This is hell. This is earth. So you do karma. The arrow should be this way actually. I'll fix that. So you do karma, and you will go from here to here and go heaven, enjoy in heaven. Once the pious credits are done, you will come back to earth. This is again given in Bhagavad Gita, uh, chapter 9, I think he tells about this, that after the pious credits are over, you come back to this material world. So you do karma and get pious credits, go to heaven and come back. You do akarma, vikarma, which is prohibited actions. You go here in the hellish planet, suffer here, get the um, bad reaction, get the punishments, and come back to the material world. Now, if I do good also, how do I come out? Because good also is binding me to this material world. Then comes akarma in picture. Akarma is action in Krishna consciousness. Act as per for the pleasure of Krishna. That is what akarma means, and that's how you purify your heart and go back home, back to Godhead. Now, practical example of akarma means, I'll give you one practical example. Let's say there is a soldier, there's an Indian soldier fighting on the border with some neighboring country, and there was a fight, and he fights with the opposite army and kills 10 soldiers there of that army. After 2 weeks, he's going to get a good Paramveer Chakra or a good bravery award he'll get from the Indian government. Now, let's say that same soldier goes back to his hometown after the war was over, and he had a road rage with someone, and in the fit of the rage, he kills someone. His car got dashed with someone, and he became very angry, and he kills that citizen. At this point of time, although the gun is same that he used on the border, he did the same action of killing someone, but he's not going to be awarded now. He's going to be put behind the bars. So he's doing the same action, exactly what he did 2 weeks ago, where he killed 10 people. Then he got award, but here even killing one person is putting him behind the bars. So working for the pleasure of government, when he was doing that, there was no actions, no reactions. Government even gave awards to the soldier. But here, if you act against the will of the government, then you get the reaction. Same way, similarly, if we act as for the pleasure of God, pleasure of Krishna, then we are doing akarma. If not, then we are doing karma or vikarma. How to do this in our practical life? One small thing that we discussed last week is, even smallest of the thing is, when you cook something, let's say you want to cook a big feast, you have this thought of, okay, tomorrow is Sunday, I need to eat, I need to feed myself well or my family well, I'll make this 10 items I'll make. Now just change the consciousness behind that. You make the same 10 items, but make it that this is for the pleasure of Krishna, I am doing it, and offer it to Krishna. Oh my Lord, today is Sunday, I got so much time and I made this stuff for you, please accept it, kindly accept it. And then after Krishna takes it, we take the remnants of the food and we honor it. Same thing we did, we just changed the consciousness. Krishna consciousness, the game is all about consciousness. What consciousness you are having while doing your activity. Even while working, office work also you do. You shouldn't think like, okay, 8 hours I have to pass. I'll pass it like that only. No one will notice me. I'll not take much work. Well, you need to think like, Krishna, this is your company. I'm working for you. how can a person own a company here where everything in this world belongs to you? This is your company, my lord. I'm working for your company. And change the consciousness. Even to deal with your children, one can deal like, okay, Krishna, I understand now. You gave me this wonderful kids. They are your kids, but you have made me their guardian. And it is my duty to take good care of them and show good way to them, to their children, to their spouse. This is all coming to me by your grace. So I need to take good care. So do the same actions, but change your consciousness. That is how you do it in practical life, day-to-day life. That is how you do akarma. Giving daily some time to Krishna, associating with him. Associating with Krishna is very important. Associating with devotees is very important. These are all akarmas that will create akarmas and will help you break through the prison house of material existence. So in a summary, what we discussed today is, does law of karma have logical basis and scientific basis? We said, we saw yes. Even from the smallest electron, proton, neutron, there are laws that are acting on them. Then why not the laws would, from the microscope to macroscope, from movement of electrons to the movement of Earth, planet, everything is under the law. Then why not the human beings fall under the law of karma? Everything falls under the law of karma. Then we saw two verses from Bhagavad Gita 16 and 17 where Krishna talks about akarma, karma, vikarma, akarma. We saw all of them, all three of them with shastric evidence, where in Shastra, how it is defined from the Shastric, what actions we are supposed to do under akarmas, what we are not supposed to do under vikarma. What does karma mean? Does bad thing happen to good people? Bhagavad Gita says no. The understanding we get from Bhagavad Gita says no. If you are doing good actions, there's no way you can have a bad reactions. There's not possible. You can cheat the laws of government, but you cannot cheat the laws, the universal laws that are created by Krishna. Then, how do I come out of this cycle of karma? We saw that akarma is the tool, is the axe we have to use to break through. How to use akarma into our day-to-day life? The entire game is about consciousness. Change your consciousness behind the things you are doing. Associate with Krishna, read books about Krishna, starting from offering small foodstuffs to Krishna to chanting the names of the God, which is the recommended process for this Kali Yuga. You follow that is our karma, that will not create any reactions, but in turn it will pure your heart and you can establish your relationship with Krishna. In conclusion, if I have to sum up the entire last 1 hour, 20 minutes, 1 hour discussion, doing everything lovingly for pleasure of God doesn't cause binding. That is the definition of akarma. So yeah, I'll conclude with this and we can have a discuss on some questions.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for the very good insight on the karma and the karma.
Thank you, Prabhu. Anyone has any questions, comments, any challenges they see in implementing doing akarmas? It is very important for us to understand this concept because these words will keep on coming again and again as we discussed on these topics in Bhagavad Gita. We'll go more in detail. We are, as I mentioned towards the beginning of class, we are going to go sequentially now, take important verses and discuss every week. Every week we'll have a theme like this. Like today we had a theme of what is karma. We've been having this since the beginning. What is karma and why bad thing happens to good people. So understanding these, why, just if you can see, we spent 1 hour just to understand 3 words: karma, akarma, and vikarma. But if you get it, the fundamentals, then understanding the Bhagavad Gita is becomes very easy. So if you have any questions, we can discuss. I'll be happy to discuss. Or did I made you all sleep successfully?
Yes, Chintan.
I made you sleep?
Sorry, what is that? You made me
I
sleep.
said, did I made you all sleep nicely today?
No. I thought like you were asking the question that we are able to understand. We are able to understand karma and its effects. Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Very nice session, Chintanji, as always. I think the important part is always, as humans, we have the tendency, even if we do something wrong, it'll be like, oh, nothing really happened. It's just like you mentioned in all the examples, could be 50 lifetimes from now, and you don't recognize why you're going through tough times or something that you're experiencing. So, yeah, trying to be conscious as much as possible.
How are you doing, Sona? Your eyes is doing good.
I'm still taking the medications and still putting the drops. It's not 100% there, but yeah, just following along with whatever the doctor is saying.
Okay. Hope you come out of it soon.
Thank you.
We are praying for it.
Thank you.
Yeah, so tomorrow we have
I have like one last question. So we have been talking about the cycle of birth and rebirth and not to save additional karma, right? So, so whatever I understand that whatever we are exhausting in this life is the karma that we saved in our earlier lives. So how do we know that we are neutral, right? So after a certain point in time, if all the karma is exacted, see every time when like I think when I have been undergoing difficult times, so this is the karma that we have done in past. So we have to like, we have to complete this and come out of this. So see, then after like 5-6 years, again the same situation. We have been going through the difficult times in life. So how do we know that? Which is the last point or last step in our karma exertion? That really we are not able to, at least I'm not able to understand actually. So in between like 2-3 years or 5-6 years, we will be good. Then again, there will be like difficult times in life. There is loss of property, loss of money, loss of health. So something we lose in life, and then like that again put us back in our progress. So how do we know or how do we understand to that, Chintan? So although we do a lot of spiritual activities like chanting, spending time with Krishna, so a lot of things, right? So still our material life since the soul is in the material life, still it is not able to understand, which is the last point or last step in our liberation process, right? Or the freeing up from the cycle of birth and rebirth. How do I understand that? So this will so how do I, so when I'll be able to understand that this is my last life and like at the end of this life I'll be going to Krishna. So that still it is like continuing like the it's not like full stop, it's continuing like comma only. So in which point we will be able to understand that, Chintan?
Yeah, okay. Very good question, Padma Priya. So first of all, I'll mention about the 4 regulative rules that ISKCON keeps on hammering on everyone's head: no eating, no meat eating, no illicit sex, no intoxication, no gambling. What's the source of all that? Why ISKCON is saying no for that is creates humongous bad reactions. And Padmapriya's question is, when do I know I exhausted all my bad reactions? Now I'll go to Krishna. When would I know that? So I'll give you one quick story from Bhagavatam where Ajamil, a Brahmana boy, somehow he sees while collecting some woods in the forest, he saws a prostitute embracing a man, and he saw that picture, and he said, I need to associate with that prostitute. And he left his home, he left his wife and married to the prostitute. We got 10 children with her. To maintain that family, he had to sometimes steal, rob, do gambling, and to maintain her. And at the end of his life, he had committed so much sinful reaction, so much sinful activities. Fortunately, once when he was out of his home, at the age of 88 years old, when he was 88 or 87, he had his 10th son. And he was out of his home at that time. And some saintly people visited his home. And that night, the wife delivered the baby. And the saintly people named that baby as Narayan, because they came to knew about the saintly people. First of all, didn't knew that Ajamil is doing all these bad activities, but once they stayed there all night and they came to know in the morning about, they heard from the locals about this, and that night also the baby was born, so they named the son as Narayan, thinking that even if he calls the son by the name Narayan, his sinful reaction will be counteracted. And that is why the saintly people gave the name as Narayan to that kid of his. And same thing happened at the time of death, because we saw, I'll share my screen again. Why I'm giving this example is because it actually came in our discussion today. See this, Dharmam tu Sakshat Bhagavad Pranitam. This is the verse which comes in Bhagavatam Canto 6, Chapter 3, where Yamraj is instructing Yamadutas. So, okay, again, coming back to the story. At the time of his death, when he's about to breathe the last air of his life, he sees Yamadutas coming with the ropes in his hand and to take his life away. And he calls out, Narayan, Narayan, because he had so much affection to his son, Narayan. He calls out his name, Narayan, 1-year-old son. So, immediately Vishnu Dutas come there and they tell Yamadutas that he no longer belongs to you because he chanted the name of Narayan. You cannot take him away. Don't you know that those who chant the name of Lord, all their sins are counteracted between not just in this life, but all their previous lives. So even chanting the name of Lord once, and this is not I'm making up, this is there in Bhagavatam. Chanting the name of Lord once can counteract all the sinful reactions. Okay. Okay, Jatin, thank you. See you next week. So, see, this is the history of Ajamil, and Yamaraj is instructing his messenger. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that abandon, this is 18.66, abandon all variety of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. Why do we say that Bhagavatam is the is the masters and Bhagavad Gita is the bachelors. Because see, Krishna says something here: abandon all variety of religion and surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. What is the proof? Proof is in Bhagavatam, Canto 6. Come here, read this. First three chapter of Canto 6, if you read, entire Ajamil pastime is mentioned in this first three. So Bhagavatam is bachelors and masters. So he unintentionally chanted the name of Narayan. So that itself frees us from the sinful reaction, Padma Priya. Your question was, how do you know when I would be able to free, when the karmic action will end? It ends. The sinful reaction ends as soon as you chant the name of Lord. But the tendency to commit sin doesn't go away. So for that, you still have to engage in the process of bhakti. The tendency to commit sin is still there. That is why the process of a karmic process, and Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, right? Gahana karmano gati. It's very difficult. He didn't give the entire source code that, okay, you have these many sinful reactions. Okay, after 4 lifetime, if you keep on chanting my name, it will be gone. No, it will be gone just once if you chant it for once. But to keep us on track and to get rid of why the purity of heart is needed is that sinful reactions will be gone for sure. But the tendency to commit sin, yeah, it will not go easily. But how that will go? By chanting the name of Lord, associating with devotees, reading about God. That's how your sinful propensities goes away. That's how your heart gets purified. And Krishna has given the assurance that abandon sarma dharmam parityajya mam ekam sharanam prajam aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshishyami mastucha. So that is how we do not have to worry about whether it will go away in 4 lifetime or 5 lifetime or 6 lifetime. We do not have to worry about it. Our intention is that Prabhupada said, many times he has said this, if you chant 16 rounds a day, follow 4 regulative principle, chant attentively 16 rounds a day and follow 4 regulative principle, you will go back home, back to Godhead in this lifetime. Accept a spiritual master, you will go back home, back to Godhead in this lifetime. In the disciplic succession, learn about Krishna. We will make, Prabhupada has given this assurance multiple times. Even Prabhupada's disciples have also made this. So we don't have to worry about it. In our hand it is, and Krishna already said it, Gahana Karmano Gati. He just said, it is difficult for you to understand. Don't get into all that. But what is expected of you? This. Yat karoshi yad asnashi yad juhoshi dadashi yat tapashyasi kaunteya tat kuru swamadarpanam. Your consciousness, changing your consciousness, whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, whatever austerities you perform, do that also as an offering to me. Cooking, you are cooking, you want to eat nice, prepare nice food stuff, but do that as an offering to Krishna. Whatever you do or give away, do that as an offering to Krishna, and he has given this. So what happens to Ajamil, just to complete the story, Vishnu Dutas come and Vishnu Dutas tell Yamdutas that no, you cannot take him away. He chanted the name of Lord. So they drive the Yamdutas away. Then Yamdutas go to Yamraj and tell them that this is how we were insulted today. Some person, so these Vishnu Dutas came and they drove us away. They didn't let us take the life of this person. Then Yamraj asks, who are they? Then they describe, oh, they were the Vishnu Dutas. So Yamraj feels ecstasy. We have heard about Yamraj. It's not a fictional character. Here Yamraj is there. See, the Yamraj said, Yamraj is actually speaking to Vishnu Dutas and he kind of chastises the Yamadutas that don't you know you are not supposed to go near to that person who is the devotee of Lord. Don't even go near to them. I've told you so many times, but you forget. So he kind of chastises the Yamadutas that You are not supposed to go near the Yamdutas, devotees of the Lord. Does that make sense, Padmapriya?
Yes, Chintan. Yeah, we continue to do what we are doing for Krishna now. Yeah. Sounds good.
And I think I like the concept when you say changing your consciousness, because, simple things, because most of us, like, let's say if we are alone or if we are doing things for ourselves, sometimes there's really not motivation, right? You're by yourself. You're probably like, even when you cook, you just do it, whatever, jaldi mein or whatever, you're not really paying attention. But then if you think about whatever you're doing, you're offering it to the God, you by default, you will put in more effort, and you're like a little bit more, you'll do things more lovingly. It's not that attitude that, oh, it's just me and I just have to do with NASA or whatever. I think that attitude also changes.
Yeah, actually, the process is made very easy by Prabhupada. He said, chanting, dancing, feasting, go your way, make your way back home, back to Godhead. So eat nicely and dance nicely, chanting, dancing, and feasting. Chant and dance and feast and go back home, back to Godhead, dancing. He used to say.
Chanting तो चल रहा है चिंतन जी, feasting भी I've started वो offering, dancing वाला component missing है.
हो जाएगा when we'll go to kirtans. Thursday kirtan चालू हो जाएंगे तो you'll automatically start dancing also.
Awesome. And then one thing I had was in the morning sessions that I started. I don't know. I think people do their chanting at different paces. So, मैं regularly when I join at 5:30 till about 6:30, I've noticed I do like about maybe 6 or 7 rounds of mala. So I'm not sure. Am I supposed to keep up with the pace of like with everybody? Is it that everybody's supposed to be on that same pace? I roughly, like, if I think I'm doing about 6 to 7 times this whole last week, I was noticing. So I hope that's okay.
Yeah. You can do it in your as long as you hear what you are chanting. You're good. Everyone has their own pace with which they chant. Usually, it takes around 7 to 8 minutes to chant one round. Usually, you don't chant that very slow, Hare Krishna. Like that, what happens is we lose the focus in that. So, if there is certain kind of speed in chanting, it keeps you awake. It keeps you engaged. And so, 7 to 8 minutes, if you complete one round, that is the standard. But if it takes you 10 minutes and if you are thinking, oh no, this is the fine speed for me and I'm hearing it properly now, go with that. I'm just giving you the overall standard, what usually is there.
Okay.
But whatever is your comfort, do follow that.
Okay, good to know. Padmapriya, are you joining that like in the mornings? I don't know, because it's hard to tell by the voices who's on, but I don't know. Are you joining that group also?
No, Sona, I'm not joining that group. Yeah, I do the Mahamantra chanting in the evening because the timing is not working out for me. So I go to sleep at the late time, so I'm not able to get up at 5:30 actually. So that's why I'm not able to join that call. I think Shama, last week when I was talking to her, I told her, and then she removed me from that group. She told me whenever you are comfortable, you just tell me, then I will add it to the group. That's what she told me.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm comfortable in the evening times actually. So early morning, I'm not able to make it out. So I have not tried to do that actually in the morning. Yeah.
Hopefully the 3-step process. I know Chintanji has a call scheduled tomorrow for everyone to come and talk about. Maybe that when we decide we can keep evening timing, if that suits you better. We can
Correct.
do
Yeah, that sounds better for me. And I'm not sure about the other participants, right? I mean, even if it is morning also, the early morning time will not be, I will not be comfortable for that time. So maybe little later. like 9 a.m. or like 10 a.m. like that. Anyway, like we have planned to have that on Saturday or Sunday, right? Is that finalized, Chintan?
No, so the outline about that program I'll give tomorrow, and what is the time, what we are supposed to do, that we will decide in that meeting only tomorrow, because I do not know what time is comfortable for you, what time is comfortable for Sona. So I do not know like that. So we'll combine. That's why we are having this meeting tomorrow to check with everyone what do they want to do. And our past experience, I'll give my past experience, which I have learned from the seniors, and even in our community also, what experiences we have gone through with the daily calls and all. I'll share all that tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I think, okay, yeah, we can discuss tomorrow, Chintan. Let's hear about others' comfortable time. I mean, who are joining that group? Yeah, then we can decide on when can we have that call, actually. So I'm like more comfortable in the evening time after like 3 p.m. Anytime after 3 p.m. until 10 p.m. I'm okay, actually. So
I'll be okay. I too want to be with more people, and I've been waiting for like I felt sick and stuff, but I've been waiting for like 2-3 months now. Okay, I want to join in a group, so whichever time works for everyone, I'll make it happen.
okay. All right. Yeah, good. Good that like we are. I'm actually happy. So finally, like Krishna has routed me in the correct path, and I've joined correct group, and I'm learning something. Thanks to Chintan and Shyama.
Really, really big thank you.
Yeah. So and I wanted to tell, I'm doing daily Narasimha Sahasranamam at home, actually. I feel happy of doing it. And then like happy of like I sit and talk to him actually for a while daily in the evening time. So yeah, so lot of things happening within myself only. So I'm seeing lot of changes in life. So happiness, soul happiness, satisfaction. So everything comes one by one. So thank you, Chintan. Thank you for initiating this, and we are happy to be part of this group. We are progressing spiritually. All credit goes to you.
No, I do not have anything here. I'm just trying to do some service, menial service.
No, Chintanji, lots of blessings to you, because you're a connecting point, right? Like Bhagavad Gita was there before, it's here now. I think to make it in a way that it becomes easy to adopt and easy to sort of, like learn. Full credit goes to you. Lots of blessings to you.
Yeah, because like nobody will sit and learn the verses by themselves. So although they know that lot of good things, Krishna has given everything in Bhagavad Gita, by in person if people start reading it, right? So we will not have that complete interest or like whatever it may be, right? So we, as you said, now we always replace priority with time with priority. So we give importance to all the material things, and we will not spend time in like the process of association with God. So that actually we are doing that in this group, in the meetings. So all these things, Chintan. So yeah, big thanks to you actually.
He said that in the Bhagavad Katha, the listeners are to be appreciated more than the speaker, because listeners are not there. Who will the speaker speak? More thanks to you both, all of you. Thank you. Then we'll
all
meet
right,
tomorrow.
yeah. Wait for tomorrow's session to finalize that.
Talk tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. See you then. Bye. See you sometime.